Hello and welcome to Healthy Knitting. My name is Rosie, your host. Today is May 13th, 2015, and you can find me on Ravelry as LESPETITSLUXCS, and there's also a WordPress site, wordpress.healthyknitting.com. Hi, it's been quite a while since I've recorded. Well, technically not really. I recorded last week and I had a book review and I needed to get it back to the library. And so I recorded and then I didn't have time to upload and I went to go add some things to it today and the whole thing was gone. So yeah, I thought it would save it, but it didn't. So that's my lesson now, that I need to edit this, put it together, and then when I have a chance to upload, I can upload. But I have a few things to share with you, and this will actually, except for not having that book review, I will do a much better job because I just quickly was like, I have to get this book back to the library, and I recorded, I didn't have anything ready. It was a bit of a mess, and that's why I was going to add today. Anyway, so here we go. You can see I'm in a different location, and I can't help the sun that's coming through my bedroom, and it's not really a very bright day today. It's a beautiful spring day, overcast, but I like that. And the sun happens to be shining very brightly. But I'm in here today because I have something that I want to show you, and it's much easier in here than in the other room, so, which is around that corner. Come here, guys. I have, this is so fun. Isabella! Maybe they're not going to show up. Okay, so in the meantime, when something shows up for me to show you, I will get started. So let's see, what's new and good? Gosh, so much has, oh, here's one of the new and good, hang on. Hello. My name is Salvatore, and I'm a very beautiful little boy. Look at this cuteness, right? So cute. Okay. Look who's here. My name is Violetta, and I am a super cute little girl who is very tiny still. Come on, guys. Where's the rest of you? Grigio. Isabella. Come on. They'll be coming shortly. Oh, here's Isabella. Hi, my name is Isabella, and I am beautiful, and I love to eat fish. She's my meat eater. The other ones haven't quite figured out that they're supposed to be, well, they kind of have, that they're supposed to be off the milk. Okay, why is your tail wet? Grigio! Come on, baby. Oh, Buddy, come here, honey. Buddy is absolutely terrified of the kittens. These arrived 2 weeks, no, gosh, it has to be 3 weeks now. Couldn't be 3 weeks. Is it only 2 weeks ago? I'm guessing that their birthday is going to be April Fool's. I'm not totally sure. I was minding my own business at a cafe, and the next thing I know, I'm going home with 4 kittens. I don't know how this happens, but it does. I was intending to help find them a home, and seriously, look at the face. Here she is. Grigio, come here. Come up here. Come on. Come here. This is my monster. This is the biggest one of the bunch. And she is the one that hasn't quite figured out that the litter box is where she's supposed to go to the bathroom yet. Isn't she cute? I know, it's terrible. So 4 little kittens, 3 girls, 1 boy, and they are super fun. And they love fish, like I said. They didn't really quite enjoy the non-milk for a while, but they do like, I had bought some salmon, and they weren't eating the canned food that I bought for them, special really good grain-free blah blah blah. They're like, no, I don't really want that. So I'm like, okay, I've got fish, you've got to eat something. So they like the salmon. They had some whitefish today, because I have been, even though I'm a vegetarian, sometimes I feel like when I need to have some really good protein besides eggs, I will eat fish, and I typically just eat clean ocean whitefish or fresh wild-caught salmon. That's pretty much it. I don't eat anything else. And so I've been doing that a little bit lately, but mostly these guys and Catalora have been eating it. Oh, there's Buddy. Hi, Bud. Come here, honey. Come here, baby. Everyone wants to say hello to you. I know. Buddy's just like, are you serious? More of these things in the house? Come here, baby. He's not impressed, but come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's not impressed, but he's making do. I keep telling him that all he needs to do is make friends with these guys while they're young so that they don't try to beat up on him, and he'll be good. Because the other kitties are still being jerks to him. And so I've had him out on the back deck. It's been beautiful. When I'm home, I put him outside. He has no fingernails in the front paws if you're a new viewer. And so he really can't defend himself. And so I don't like to let them out by themselves anyway. And I hadn't been for a while because I have had coyotes in my backyard. And I've had bear, but I'm not concerned about the bear because the cats will probably scare the bear. But the coyotes, they're a little bit more something I'd be more concerned about. But Buddy just pretty much hangs out on the back deck, and I've let Catalora out there too because I think it's interesting. It's like us people. If they want to be outside and they're unhappy being inside, then I feel that I should let them outside, but I'm very careful about when I do. I don't let them out when I'm not home. And Natalia especially, and she hadn't been feeling all that fantastic, and since I've been letting her out, her mood has increased. She's happier, she's feeling better, and so she's the only one I know that wanders quite a bit. I have about an acre here, and there's a lot of land back there. She doesn't really go in there, but she'll go into these woods right here, and but she does come when I call her, so I can call her and make her check in and make sure she's okay. And I have to get her in at a certain time, otherwise she will be out all night, and then, which she's done in the past, which has not been good for me because then I'm like up every hour looking for her and I like my sleep. So we're not letting that happen. But anyway, the three have been happier outside. I've been bringing the kittens out on the back deck when I sit out there just with me. Obviously, I'm not letting them out on the back deck by themselves. I have that stray cat that comes around still, and he will get a little bit like, what are you doing to my cats? This is my deck. And I'm like, no, this is not your deck. This is my cat's deck, and you are welcome to eat here if you would like, but you are not going to be, hang on, I gotta keep turning. You're not going to be chasing my cats. So I think we've worked that all out. And so obviously I don't want to allow the kittens who haven't had any shots or anything like that get in contact with this stray cat, even though he does look pretty healthy. But they're super fun. I'm having a blast with them. They are my biggest and greatest news. Oh, the other news is I have started working out again. I feel like I'm at a healthy place now where I'm able to lift some weights. So I'm doing some class called Body Pump, and there's some others that I'm going to take, but I did that, what day is today? Today's Wednesday. I did that on Tuesday? Was Tuesday yet? No. I did that on Monday. No. Tuesday? I don't know. I did it one day this week. I don't remember it. Really? It was just the other day. It must have been, it wasn't, that's strange. When did I do that class? Today's Wednesday. It must have been Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. And it was awesome. It's, you lift weights, which I love. And I used to work out a long time ago, and I had a trainer, and I lifted basically free weights all the time and very few machines. I don't really like the machines. I like the free weights. I like to be in control. I think you actually, because somebody just jumped off the couch. You're going to go down too? Go ahead. Go ahead. You know how to climb back up. Because you have to hold your balance, it actually works more on your core than if you're in a machine doing something. So I prefer that, and I find that it's more fun if I do it with somebody. So when there's an instructor and there's other people in the class, it's more fun, and plus it's to music, which was fun, versus just me going and doing it on my own. I'm bored to tears. I really am. And then I've got the headphones in, and you're like, oh, sorry, Kusho. You are, you're worrying about your thing dropping, the headphones popping off. So the class is awesome. So I have scheduled now 5 days a week I can do classes. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll keep you posted as I move. Oh, get off of that. Somebody learned about the spinning wheel. What are you doing? Get off of that. Hang on. Get off of that, please. You're making it go, kid. So that's new and good and exciting. And the weather has been, can you get off the spinning wheel? The weather has been beautiful. This is my best little boy. He is such a good boy. He uses the litter box perfectly. We need to get the girls on that one. I have moved them now into the kitchen because they were making a mess of things. So the kitchen has linoleum floor. It's a lot easier to clean. I have two little litter pans with I got the little shavings in there so that they don't ever get anything in their paws that's toxic or anything like that. They make a mess, and they were rolling around and playing in there. I'm like, no, you need to pee in there. So I took, I have these litter boxes that have the pee tray in them, and I took the pee tray and I poured some pee into the box. Not that you really want to hear this, but if you're litter training a cat, this might be helpful. And so they're like, oh, we don't play and roll around and throw the shavings everywhere. We're supposed to actually use that. So that has helped quite a lot, but still the girls are like... So I need to actually stay in there with them for quite a while in the morning after they wake up. You got milk face. Were you just eating? So I can watch, and when they're peeing and pooping somewhere when they're not supposed to be, I can just pick them up and put them in the litter box, and maybe that will help to teach them what to do, because I don't know if there's any other way to do that, but putting them in there when they're not doing it where they're supposed to be. I don't know, you can't yell at a kid and they don't know what's going on, so you just have to be patient and work with them, because look at these faces. Oh my God, they are just my little angel faces of joy in the house right now. I know. Okay, so why don't we get to some knitting stuff before I talk too much about other things. So I do not know where I was with, I know I talked about this, so I know this part's new. With the other project, I'm not working on very much, and I haven't knit on very much, which is another reason why I haven't podcasted. Besides being extremely busy, I've had absolutely no time to knit. When I have sat down, I didn't want to think about anything, and I didn't really have anything except for the next project on the needles that was mindless, or the spinning, and then sometimes I really just didn't even want to do that. I was just mentally exhausted. So, well, dead stink bug. How did this wind up here? Are you really dead? I don't know. I am working on the anisette cardigan. Oops, there's a little bit of glare there. So it's just a cute summer cardigan. It is by Julie Farmer. I'm using, oh, this is another thing that happened. My cat got in there, Francesca, and she totally destroyed my yarn. So I was able to get this part in a ball, but I haven't finished. I think took me a while. So this is Aran Waite, Rowan Yarns, Amy Butler. It's wool and cotton organic, and it's in a kind of like a silvery gray color. I love this yarn because I love the cotton and the wool mix. It's lightweight. It still has a lot of elasticity and bounce to it, but it has that organic cottony downy softness to it, so it just feels like air. I really, really, really enjoy this yarn. I'm going to have enough. I do have a little bit more, 2 other balls of a different dye lot that I've told you about. They look exactly the same, so I'm not really concerned, but I will probably use that for the, I'm going to put what am I doing? What's it called? When you edge it with the I-cord. I'm going to do an I-cord edge all the way around the front, from here all the way around the neck and back, because I've changed the pattern so much that, and I did see that it would work. I stop, honey. These little fingernails are very, very sharp, these guys. Oops, that was a big jump. I changed the pattern partially on purpose and partially not on purpose. And then I'll show you some more on purpose, not on purpose, that I just noticed when I was trying to do the next piece of this. So when I piece things together, I use these cute little clips, and they're just clips from Staples. I think every store has them. I don't know what these are called, binder clips or something. And I do put, what is wrong here? I like them very much for seaming because they really hold pretty well, to the point where I can actually try this on. And No, get your fingernails out. Don't wreck this. So what happened was I didn't pay attention to the at the same time, and then I had to manipulate the top of the front of this and the sleeves, and it looks like they are going to work. I tried it on. It's going to be fine. Then the neck, oops, this goes on here. No, stop, baby. Get the fingernails off of that. This goes on here too. Oops, hang on. These all connect at the top. Okay, so this is what it will look like. And you can see the front is now a straight line instead of a curved line because I forgot. If you do this pattern, please read all of the instructions. Please stop putting your fingernails in there, because it's like the end of what you're supposed to do is down here, and then the at the same time is on the next paragraph up on another line, and you don't really even see it. And that's kind of what happened to me. So it looks like it's going to work just fine, maybe. And I'm working on the other front. So this is the right front. I'm working on the left front. The back came out really nice. I did the back according to pattern, which worked. Now, what I noticed when I went to do the left front was that I didn't do the pattern correctly. See how there are these little knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl here in between the cable pattern and this nice little pattern here? Well, look what I did. I didn't do it right. Whoops, big jump. Here's the front. There's none of that. The pattern was a little confusing as to where you're supposed to start with the chart. So please note that there's a different place to start with the chart if you are doing the right front and the left front. I did not notice, and it's not the pattern's fault, it's my fault. So I have to really manipulate this, and I've changed the direction of the cables so that they're mirrored. So here is the second one started. And you can see I've done the same thing. No interrupt over here, otherwise it would look really weird. And I don't know how far I am, but I think I have a little, I've added waist shaping to this as well. Just a little bit, just because I didn't want it to be too boxy. And I think I have a little bit more to go before I can get finished with this. And this is the yarn I have left here. This is the yarn I have left here. I think this will make the other sleeve. And the sleeve I changed too because I wanted the sleeve to be longer. This comes down to here, which is perfect. Or where does it come down to? I don't know now. Where is it? I can't remember. Yes, I think down to here, so that it would sit properly, just a little bit longer. I didn't want the too short of sleeves up here. So that's what's going on with this. Hello, sorry for that interruption. So that was Buddy exhibiting bad behavior, and I don't think he likes kittens. Anyway, so the other thing that I worked on is the plain vanilla sock, and I don't have that pattern pulled up on here. It's just a plain vanilla sock. I'm not even too sure if I showed you this last week. I might have, or not last week, last time I recorded, and I don't have the patience to go back and look to see what I've done, and I don't write show notes, so I'm not sure. But anyway, I use smaller needles. This is with Santa Fe, Aslan Trends, Santa Fe yarn. And I haven't even balled up this one yet. I have to take out this toe. Do you see how pointy that toe is? Because my row gauge is shorter, I needed to start the toe probably here instead of where I did start it, which is down here. And I tried to manipulate it to see if I could get it just a hair longer. Buddy, you're in trouble. Excuse me, I need to go put him in the other room. Okay, I needed to put Buddy into the bathroom because there's food, water, and a litter box in there, and this way he doesn't have other cats doing anything to him, and he can, what are you doing? He can just hang out and be in there and have no worries about anything. So, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. So he's in there. Don't worry, I don't yell at him. He does bad stuff sometimes, and you know, it's just Buddy, and I deal with it, and I try to make him as comfortable as possible, but he still wants to be a jerk sometimes. Anyway, so with the socks, I used the cubics needles, which I liked, but there was something about them that I wasn't so sure of. They're a little heavier. They're a lot more, they're not as pointy as the signature needles that I have, or I think the carbons, which I haven't used yet. But I did like the zero for the fabric. What are you doing? Come here. So eventually, once I get the mate to this done, I'm going to try the double zeros with the Aslan Trends yarn and see, or I might even have a smaller weight yarn than this. This is not really a tiny, tiny fingering weight yarn. I have smaller. This is kind of bouncy and fluffy, whereas some of the workhorse yarns, like I have, what do I have? Pro Natura, excuse me, by Zitron. And that is a not so bouncy sock yarn. And because the carbons are really sharp, I might use that for it's also a solid yarn that I have. And do I still have that? I sold so much yarn, I don't know if I still have that or not. I think I do still have that. I'm not even too sure now. I don't know. And some people, if you're a viewer and you've requested yarn from me lately, I have not had time to do anything, and I'm not so sure I'm going to sell any more yarn, so I don't know. I'm going to fix that up when I have time to see what I really want to keep and what I'm still willing to part with. So anyway, I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to you yet. Anyway, so the plan is to try to do something a little bit more complicated with a solid yarn instead of this one with the smaller, the double zero needles, because I think this is going to be fine with the zeros. If I go any tighter, I'm not sure. I think I would have to change the gauge or change the amount of stitches I put on the needles, and I don't really want to do that because these already wear fine as it is, and I like them. So anyway, I have to rip out this toe. Don't take that. Give me that. You're not going to learn how to play with yarn, and that is that. So, for spinning, I haven't done much of that. Here's my wheel. Can you see? I don't know what am I looking at? Oh, it's not up far enough. Hang on. All right, I'm just gonna have to point this down because I don't want to pick it up and land it on a kitten. I've already stepped on their toes a couple times. What are you doing? Don't chase that. So here's my spinning, and this is what it looks like before. No, get off of that. Thank you. Oh my God, life is so hard. So this is the last of what I have to do for half of it, and I'm planning on a 2-ply, so I still have some more to go. This is merino tencel that I dyed myself with greener shades, and I do not know how I did this, and I thought I wrote notes somewhere, but I don't know where I wrote them. I do love these colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. I don't know. I still have dye. I need to dye some things and get that finished. There's so much that I want to do, and there's been, not as much, I have had free time, but the free time that I spent, I just didn't want to do anything. These guys are very time consuming and very tiring. Well, they were more tiring when they were drinking out of a bottle. Well, actually chewing the bottle to pieces is more like what they were doing. Their teeth are like needles, and Grigio chewed the top of the bottle off, and when I pulled it out of her mouth, I was like, oh my God. So she swallowed the tip of the bottle. Thank God she didn't choke, and she was okay. Everything's fine. But seriously, like, you guys. So then I had to use the dropper, the little syringes, and syringe feed them for a while. And if anybody has fed kittens, you know that they eat a lot and they eat often. And so that meant getting up in the middle of the night and feeding, and they were loud and crazy and all wanting to eat at the same time. They're super easy, much more easy now than they were before, since they've learned to drink out of the dish, and they're eating more solid food every day. But I can't believe how spoiled they are already with, I just want salmon. Oh, I just want whitefish. And they don't like it cooked. They prefer it raw, which is good. Good for them. Fine. Are you all gonna chew on my arm now? And at that fun, playful stage where they play, everything's a toy, and every time you move, it's something to jump at, and they chew on each other and scream because their teeth, like I said, are needle sharp. They'll sometimes, like if you ever had a cat bite and they bite like this frontwards, it doesn't really hurt so bad, but if they stick it on the side, oh my gosh, that's when the blood gets drawn and it's not so much fun. So it happens in like 0.1 second where it goes from here to the side and you're like, anyway, we're having lots of fun playing. There are lots of pieces of paper thrown on the floor for them to bounce around and play with. And they're enjoying that. Wait, stop. Ow. The little fingernails. I'm going to push this down just a little bit so you can see how cute they are. So what else is new? So I did have a recipe, and I don't know if I shared this last time. I might have. This is how I don't really recall what I talked about. But did I talk to you about the banana and the eggs? If you can eat either one of those, you can make something, because I don't eat grains anymore. You kind of miss certain foods that, not that I liked pancakes very much anyway, but because I never really felt good after eating pancakes. I always felt that they were very heavy. But if you just mix 2 bananas and 2 eggs, you get something that's more like a light pancake. And if you add 3 bananas to 2 eggs, it's more cakey like. And I tried to add cashews, ground up cashews from my NutriBullet in there. I didn't like it as well. I think it's just plain, it's really good with the eggs and the bananas. And I enjoy that very much. So when I feel like having something like that, I'll eat that. But mostly I've been doing the NutriBullet in the morning. It depends on what my day is like, actually, where I'm going to be, how long I'm going to be places, as to what I want to do. But I do put eggs in my NutriBullet and do 2 raw eggs in there. They are organic, and I don't feel that that's going to be a problem for me. My immune system is very healthy, so I feel that I'm not going to have any problems if there are any bugs or anything like that. But take your own cautions to your own body if you put raw eggs in your beverages. I do not do whey proteins and things like that. I just find that I would rather keep things simple and have the real thing, just the way I am. And so I've been eating a lot of those, and right now is salad season, and I've been craving salad constantly, so eating lots of salads, and then the fish lately too as well. I think now that I'm going to be working out more, I will be doing more fish. I enjoy it, and I also found a really great recipe for that, well, a while ago, but I don't think I've shared it with you. Maybe I did, I'm not even too sure, maybe a long time ago. I use cashews again, and for people who can use nuts, because some people can't. And let me just rephrase things. Nuts are categorized in different ways. Everybody thinks that a peanut is a nut. It's not really a nut. It's a legume. It grows in the ground. And then there are nuts like tree nuts, almonds of which are not a tree nut. They're actually a seed. So it depends on what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate with your body and how well you feel with them. But I don't do peanuts. I don't do legumes right now, but I do eat almonds and I do eat tree nuts. And seriously, right? Look at how cute this is. Who am I missing? Grigio. I don't know where she is. So anyway, you take the fish, and like I said, cold water whitefish is really good. Farm raised, even though it's organic, is not that great because they are still, you can research the company that's growing these farm-raised fish if you like, find out what they're putting in there, because sometimes they are using things that might not be something you're interested in. So it all depends on you. For me, I don't do farm-raised fish. The only time I had it was when I was in Italy at the trout farm up the street from me that I could walk to. But anyway, salmon, I do the wild-caught salmon, and I like the cold water whitefish. And none of those are endangered, and none of them cause a problem the way they're caught. I try to look at everything, every aspect of what it is that I'm doing and how is it affecting other things, the environment, other fish, other, like everything. I don't want to be, I would rather be part of a solution than part of a problem. So I try to find things that are done in a way that meshes with how I want to live my life. So I'm just very careful about what it is I'm doing. Some things I don't know about, and if people make me aware of it, I appreciate that. So, there are places where you can find this information. I find it interesting because a lot of times you'll find information and it'll be only bits and pieces. They're like, oh, you should eat this because it's healthy, and then you wind up looking at that and you're like, well, the way it's caught, all the bycatch from that is not a good idea, and it's depleting and this and that. So I kind of look at the whole gamut. Something you might be interested in, or maybe not. It's up to you. What else did I want to say? Oh, so let me talk about that recipe. Sorry, I didn't write any show notes. I did not plan on doing this thing all over again either. So anyway, you take your fish and I like using wild raw honey and also mustard that has nothing in it except for like mustard and vinegar. You have to look around because there's a lot of ingredients and things that you think shouldn't have extra ingredients in it, and there are, unfortunately. So if you are very careful about what you eat, please read all the ingredient labels and comparison shop. So I bought mustard and made my own honey mustard because that's even easier because there's less ingredients in there that you don't need. And can you get off the spinning wheel, please? Grijo's now on the spinning wheel. Come here, bunny. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. This one's like super heavy. She's got to be over a pound now. You're a stick of butter. Or block of butter. You're a block of butter. Look at this roly-poly belly. Isn't she? She's big. She's a big girl. I think she's going to be the biggest one. Anyway, sorry. You put the honey mustard sauce on top of the fish, and then you dredge it in the ground up or chopped up, depends on how you like it, cashew nuts, and then you fry it. And although fried food is not the best for you, I'm trying to see if there's a way that I could bake it, and I haven't tried that yet, but maybe I'll try that with the next one, and I'll get back to you onto whether that works. But I don't mind using butter, and I don't mind using coconut oil, and those are the two oils that I use for cooking, and that works for me. It's absolutely delicious. Oh my God. It's really, 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 really good. I have shared with you a while ago a way to cook fish in the oven without any, I think it's just with a little bit of oil, but with vegetables. That's another way that you can cook it, and that is in a earlier episode, and I think I might have written show notes on it if you're interested in looking that up. Ah, did you see that? He just bit me. You're biting me. What else? Oh, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was he's interested in something. I almost cut my finger off the other day. The lilac bushes. I know I'm off topic. The lilac bushes at my house, they bloomed this year. When my mom was really sick, I kept cutting all the lilacs and I would bring them for her to bring to the place where she was at. And then after that, the next year, they didn't bloom at all. And I think the next year after that, they didn't bloom. And then the year after that, I was in Italy. So I haven't seen this bush bloom for 3 years. And so it bloomed this year. So I got home the other day and I had a little sharp knife in my car, and I guess it was even more sharp than I thought. And I almost got like a piece of my finger off. It was gross. I didn't have any Band-Aids. So I went to go get, I had them and I just wound up using them the other day. So I went to the store with like a piece of paper towel wrap with tape. And the guy's like, oh my God, what did you do? I'm like, looks worse than what it is. Just need Band-Aids. So anyway, if you happen to notice all the beautiful blooms that are out right now, this is springtime in the Northeast of the United States. It is incredible. I picked the daffodils that were blooming, and those were gorgeous. And I picked the lilacs. They're beautiful. The trees are all absolutely stunning. So take your time and smell the flowers, smell the trees, enjoy the beauty, breathe deeply outside, and just enjoy, because it is absolutely incredible right now. Springtime is one of my favorite times of the year. I also love fall too. I love the big changes. You know, the leaves are changing, the air is getting crisp and cool. We're getting into that dormant stage, and then in the spring it's that rebirth and renewal and all the birds are singing. They're so loud at my house. It's incredible. So my bedroom is back there where the light is coming from. And that's where the basic most part of my property is. But I'm pretty secluded here. There's not a lot going on. Very few houses on my street, and I live on a dirt road. It's just very, very quiet. And behind my property, is a bunch of land that has too much water to be developed. So it's just a piece of land that's been sitting there, and there's plenty of, like I said, I have bear coming to my house, lots of deer, turkeys, foxes, coyotes. Ow, what are you doing? Rabbits, kitty cats, lots of critters come to visit me, and I love it. And also the songbirds. So it's the perfect place for them because they have like hedgerows on either side, the woods in the back. They don't really hang out in the woods. They're always on like the edge. So there's plenty of edge here for them to be. And it's just so lovely to hear them. And I love the new songs that are being sung because the new birds are coming in, and it's absolutely wonderful. But they are super loud, super, super loud. You see, some of them have already fallen asleep. And so I enjoy that very much in the spring and in the summer. What else was I going to tell you? So one of the other things I was going to talk about is just because you have been buying a product for a while, it doesn't mean that they haven't changed the ingredients. And this happened for me, and it added ingredients that I wasn't tolerant to and didn't want in my things. And it was organic as well, because organic, unless it's a fully organic one object item and it says organic, that has to be 100% organic. But I think when it's combined with other things, it doesn't always have to be 100% organic product. And so you really need to be careful about what is in your ingredients. And I was helping a friend shop, and it was the Pacific organic vegetable broth. And they changed their ingredients, and it was no longer a product that I would buy. So just keep watching and reading what's going on with you. Are you biting his tail? That's not very nice. That's not very nice. Anyway, and the other thing I wanted to share with you was just noticing what's going on with me. I have experimented on and off with the grains, and I think I talked to you about that before. And I kept trying to really want to be able to eat risotto, which is an Italian rice dish. It's a different type of rice. It's arborio rice, and you have to cook it differently. You constantly stir it, and I used to eat this every week. And I was like, I just want to be able to eat this dish. And once you know it, I have a reaction to it. And the reaction is something that makes me completely blocked up in my nose. I can breathe now. Finally, after I think about 3 weeks or 4 weeks now of not having it, I can finally breathe clearly. So, and the other thing is I was having some problems with my shoulder, and that's another autoimmune type thing. And this is how our body reacts to things. So if you ever feel like you're stuffed up for no reason, you have aches and pains for no reason, it really could be that your body is reacting to something that you're eating. It could be reacting to a stress. I've gotten rid of all the stress in my life. I've learned how to manage all of that. So basically for me, anything that's stressing and coming as a stress in my life is going to be something that I eat, or toxic, something toxic in my life that I'm not aware of that's going on. So I just wanted to let you know that you can try taking things out of your diet and then keeping them out for at least 2 months. And when you reintroduce, if you have a reaction, it might be that stuff. So, and I think I've talked to you about chemicals and how we can react. We have sensitivities to those as well. Sometimes they're in the workplace. Sometimes you have no control over what's going on. But yeah, there are lots of things that can cause these types of reactions, and people think it could be something else. Like, oh, because I was stuffy, you might say, oh, I have allergies, but I didn't have any allergies. It was really a food sensitivity issue that was making itself known in my sinuses. Oh, that's Buddy. He's like, I'm done. I want out of this bathroom. So let's see, what else did I want to talk to you about? I don't know. The Oh, you know what I want to talk to you about? The book that I reviewed was called Knockout Knits, and oh gosh, Laura Nelkin, I think, is the name of the person who wrote that book. And if I'm not wrong, she is the same person that was on the Fiber Factor, and she had a lot of nice designs on there as well. I could be totally wrong, but I think this is the same person. I really, really, really enjoyed that book. Unfortunately, it is not from my library. If I want to take that book out again, I will have to go and sign it out again and wait and wait and wait for it to come to me. And I apologize. I did review the book. It was 2 thumbs up in my department. I really appreciated that book. There was some nice shawls in there. There was things that you could do for beading. So I have never put beads in my knitting before, and I found that they had some small projects and then they had larger projects. So, you know, if you just want to try it, there was some cute things that you could make. And then if you really want to go all out, there was some bigger things that you could make with instructions and how to put the beads on and everything else like that. It looked really, really good. There were other projects on there that looked really nice. I found a wide range so that, like I said, if you want to do something small, there were some small accessories that go all the way up to bigger objects, which is nice for a good range if you don't always want to make a garment and you don't always want to make a hat or a scarf. They had other types of accessories that you could make, little cuffs and necklaces and things like that. And I found them to be very interesting and fun. So I do recommend that book if you haven't looked at it yet on Ravelry. I'm sure there are some pictures on Ravelry, and it could possibly be in your library. I'm considering, you know, when I'm looking at buying the book, I would buy it if they have it. I don't even look to see if they had it as a downloadable book, but that's what I prefer, is downloadable versus hard copy. For me, it's just easier. Oh my God, this is the cutest thing you can ever see. They're all asleep now, and the little boy you can barely see his little feet right off. I wonder if I can move this. Hold on. You can just see his feet. Look at his feet. Aren't those the cutest thing? He's just laying on his back, and his sisters are all pig-piled on top of him, and his little face is right here. And they purr super loud, too. I think they're going to outdo Natalia, who is my loudest purr here. Anyway, Knockout Knits, Laura Nelkin. Check it out, and it might be at your library or your store or on Ravelry. I do have another book, but I haven't really looked at it enough. It's called Sock Architecture. By Lara Neal. And that looks very interesting. I actually wanted to try some of that out before I did a review on it, but I'm not sure when I have to return it. We'll see. What else did I want to talk about? I don't know. I'm sure there are. Oh, you know what else I want to talk to you about? It's so funny. I haven't been watching as many podcasts. There are a couple that I've been able to eke through. Every couple of weeks I'll be like, oh, there's a backed up 2 episodes, and I'll watch, but I'll be doing stuff, so I won't actually be knitting with them, which is when I used to knit and when I used to spin. And I'm finding that I'm not making that time to do that anymore, and I find that it's very inspiring for me to have that. I haven't been able to knit with my group. We meet on Thursdays, and I have other things that I have to do on Thursdays now, so I'm kind of at this weird point where I was working on that sweater and it had, you know, the issues, and then I put it down, and then I'm not motivated to really work on it. Spinning, I should be able to just do that when I'm not doing anything. And then the issue with the sock, and I'm just like, oh, I just wanted something simple to knit, but I haven't picked up anything else. But anyway, I found that the podcasts really helped me to stay motivated and inspire me, and I just haven't been watching very many. And then I culled some that I used to watch that I'm not quite fond of anymore. They've moved into a different direction, and so I've skipped out on some of those, but I found a whole bunch of new ones, and I haven't even been able to watch to decide whether I want to continue or if I even like it or whatever. But I did find one that was only 3 episodes, and they were short, which is good if you're in a hurry. And it's Stephen West, and he is hilarious. I'm sure if you just type in Stephen West on YouTube, you will find it, and he's just a funny guy, absolutely hilarious. Which I love humor, so for me it was perfect, and I would love to meet him in person someday. So maybe, who knows? if he's over here or I'm over there and he's holding some type of thing, I would love to just run into him. He seems like a really fun person to hang out with and knit with. So anyway, I don't know about you, but I find that knitting podcasts really help me to be motivating and get stuff done. And they give me inspiration for new ideas and new things. And the other thing, and I don't know if I talked about it on the you know what, I'm going to have to watch that last podcast, because I had hand spun the purple one that I made, and I wanted to knit this shawl with it, and I kept coming back to this buy pattern shawl. And I don't mind buying patterns, it's just I don't want to buy the pattern before I actually am ready to cast on, because what will happen for me is I'll change my mind and then I won't ever knit it, and I don't want to just buy things and not use them. I have plenty of knitting magazines that I've done that with, and knitting books that I bought and not done anything with, so hence why I go to the library and check the book out first. If it's something I really want, I can then buy it from there. Like if it's just one pattern, I'll use it from the library, but if it's more than that, I'll buy the book. So anyway, I found this great pattern. It'd be perfect for the hand spun, and for the life of me, in my queue, I can't remember which one it is, and I've looked and searched, and it's not hitting me like it was before as this is the perfect pattern, and I don't know if I talked about it in, upcoming possible things that I want to knit. I don't know. But I would like to knit with that. I would like to get this off the needles and knit a summer project with this. Don't know what that will be either yet, but anyway, I'm not going to be able to move when I finish this because I have four very sleepy kittens on my lap. Look at these little feet. Oh, you can't see. You can't see these little feet. Somebody's beeping me over there. Honestly, oh wait, you have to see this. This is too cute. Hang on. Don't you just love kitten feet? Look at these little feet. Honestly, I'm not going to be able to move. I'm going to be stuck here. They are so adorable. Every time they eat, they have to sleep. They frantically go about and play, and then they're like wiped out. And now they're purring again. I hope you've enjoyed my new little additions. I know it's kind of crazy, and I really intended, I swear, on wanting to find them a home, but I don't know, about a couple months ago, I mentally thought, wow, it'd be so fun to have kittens again, because the last kittens I had were the ones that are now, what years? They're now 13, and I got them as day-old kittens with the mom, and they were like this big and super cute. I have 5 of them left. That kind of tells you how many cats I have. I have a lot, don't I? You ever see the thing on this little crazy cat lady starter kit? Anyway, I really do love cats, and except for Buddy, most of them are very well behaved, and he is just, and these little girls need some training, so I'm going to work on these little girls here and make sure that they are potty trained. And I don't know what to do with Buddy. I think I'm going to try to get one of those diffusers with the hormones, the pheromones in them. Maybe that'll help him. I think it will help the other ones to stop beating up on him. I don't know. I wish he never had his claws removed. I did not do it. But I think it changes how they can react or interact with other cats, because the other cat that I had, Puddin, who also came with no fingernails, she used to use her teeth. And she would let the others know that you are not messing with me, and she would bite. This guy just runs away, and he's like, ooh, and so now they beat up on him. This has been years going on. I don't know how long I've had Buddy now, but for quite a while. And he's never really been able to stand up for himself. And I feel that that's really part of the problem. So I don't know what to do with my boys. I don't know, the other 2 boys that are beating him up. The other two girls, I have 3 boys and 2 girls, this part of the 5. And one of them is fussy sometimes. She will attack, and other times she's fine. The other 2 girls have kind of calmed down. One completely is fine with him now. But the boys are still stalking him, and it's just frustrating for him. It's kind of sad for me, and I used to keep them separated, but he still was acting funny, and now he sleeps with me, and we're all okay sleeping-wise, but as soon as he jumps off the bed, they are crazy. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. What else did I want to talk to you about? So, another little bit about health, and I've touched on it a little bit before, and that was, don't talk about how unwell you are. Even if you are feeling bad for the day, you can work your way through these things, but just not to dwell on being sick and this hurts or that hurts and to not talk about it, but to really focus on how well you feel. And if you're having a hard time focusing on how well you feel, just focus on something else and take your attention off of it, because the more you talk about it, the more attention you put on it. It's the same thing of like when you want to lose weight and you're saying, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, I'm so fat. That's just not appropriate. So if you can get over that and just be happy where you're at and just, talk yourself up, like I'm getting better every day. Every day I'm moving a little bit better. Every day I'm feeling a little bit better. Every day you will feel a little bit better. Every day you will move a little bit more. Every day you will feel better. Like my whole thing now is I'm taking the classes and I'm feeling really good. I'm taking the classes and I'm feeling really good. Every day I'm getting better and stronger. Every day I'm feeling better and stronger. So we have a lot more that we realize with our minds than we think and how we feel about things. So always stay upbeat and positive. Be happy. If you can't be happy, be one step up from where you were. So if you were miserable and angry, try to get one step above that. And you can talk yourself up. You really can. Because there are good things to think about and good things to focus on. So if you were having a bad day and you're complaining about this stuff all the time, it's just going to give you more of that stuff. And we've talked about that before. So, things aren't all that bad. I've known things have been better at other times, and I know that things will change. I know things will not always stay the same. So you can talk yourself up. So please be aware of that everything that you're thinking about and feeling is going to also add to your health and the way you're living your life. And it's a lot of things that people don't think about when you are, I'm not feeling good, I'm going to go to the doctor. The doctor's going to give you a pill, or you might see someone who is a nutritionist and they'll change your food, but they're not ever really changing what's going on up in here. So we really are a complex being, and all of these things combined are attributing to our health. So don't forget about this part. What you think, excuse me, and how you feel is really going to attribute to your health and your personal wellness and your overall well-being of how things are working in your life. So remember, stop complaining. Find something to feel good about and reach for it, and constantly think about what you do want and not what you don't want, because you focus on what you want, that's where you're going to be headed. Okay, thank you very much, and I apologize that I do not have very much to show you. The next time I see you will have to be until when I have something else to show you, because I can't just show you nothing. I wish I had a co-host. The cats don't knit, so I can't really show you anything there. I find that I enjoy the podcast when there's two people quite a lot, because the interaction is something that I like as well. But there are also podcasts that are single person podcasts that I listen to that I enjoy as well. And I hope that you have found some good information here. And I do apologize for the long break in between, but I can only do what I can do. Alrighty, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao. Oh, I also wanted to say thank you. Little tail wagging. I wanted to say thank you to the person who told me to turn off my antivirus. For some reason, I haven't dropped any frames this recording, and I know it's not on, and the last time I recorded, I thought I shut it off too. So if that has been the cause of my drop frames, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And anybody who has commented on YouTube or on Ravelry or wherever, I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Okay, ciao.